I've been running a lot of dungeons recently, and I've seen a lot of people with some weird setups, like, adaptive plus silent death or some random other sword. And I just shake my head at those people because they don't even realize that they're using the wrong set. Today I'm going to show you the current best Berserk setup in the meta and prove to you why you shouldn't be using some stupid armor set like adaptive. The first thing that I'll be talking about is a sword. Now a lot of people normally think that Silent Death, Earth Shard, or maybe Hyper Cleaver are the best swords in the game, but recently in a new patch they made the Spirit Sword the new best weapon. If I go into my inventory right now and show you the stats, it's actually much better. Here I have a maxed out Spirit Sword and has 662 damage, 386 strength, and 276 crit damage. If I go to the lobby and compare it to something like a maxed Earth Shard, it has 100 more damage, 100 more strength, and 30 less crit damage, which means it will be doing a lot more damage. Accompanied along with the sword, you should be using an armor setup such as full Zombie Knight, or this weird setup which involves 3/4 Zombie Knight and Spirit Boots. This setup gives tons of strength while also giving a good amount of defense and good crit damage because of the reforges. It is much better than adaptive and should be slightly less tanky. Along with great strength and crit damage, you also have good EHP and you're allowed to fly with the Spirit Boots. You can abuse this to do the Thorn fight easily by flying up to the boss and shooting him directly in the face. Right, here's a summary of each armor set's combined stats. And if we compare Zombie Knight and Spirit Boots to adaptive, you can clearly see that Zombie Knight and Spirit Boots are much better and stronger than adaptive. The only downside is that you have a little bit less health and intelligence, but you do have more defense. And these stats were calculated with Fierce being the reforge and all pieces being 5-starred and all potato book fully. With this setup, I end up doing over 1 mil crits at the very beginning, even without blessings, and by the end, sometimes critting for over 3 million per hit. Keeping in mind though, I do have very good stats, as I have Combat 50, Forging 40, and 21 recombobulated talismans. Now it's time to do a run. As you can see, I'm wearing Wisdom 4 Superior Dragon Armor, and what I do at the start of every dungeon is I swap over to my Zombie Knight Armor, and it allows the extra mana from the Superior Dragon Armor to apply to my Zombie Knight Armor, which means that I get 320 extra mana, while also being able to use Last Stand on my Zombie Knight. Now you can see that I'm hitting for over 1 mil crit. And this is without any Blessing of the Power or Stone. Boss fight I have almost 2000 strength and 1500 damage, and almost 150,000 effective HP. Yet, we didn't even get close to all the blessings possible. Now that you've seen how good this setup is, you're probably wondering, how much does it cost? Well, it's not exactly cheap. As you can see here, I compiled the lowest bin value of each item in my setup, and without the Ender Dragon, the raw value would add up to 32.6 mil. Keeping in mind each item here, for example the Spirit Sword, wouldn't have any enchants or upgrades that is 382 mil. Obviously the gear isn't the only thing that matters. Stuff like skills, catacombs level, and talismans, those are all important to increase your damage further. And if you're rich, you can buy stuff like recombobulator's fuse